You open your eyes. That ceiling, it's not your ceiling. Outside the window, there's no blue sky, no green trees, just an endless red, dusty desert. Congratulations, you're an average of 225 million kilometers from Earth. This is Mars, and starting today, it's home. So, what's a single day here actually like? Let's live one. The first surprise hits before you even get to breakfast. A day on Mars isn't the same as a day on Earth. Here, one day, one soul, lasts 24 hours and 39 minutes. Every single day, you drift 39 minutes. After a week, your body starts mistaking midnight for noon. So, why do we say soul instead of day? Because scientists gave a Martian day its own name to keep it separate from Earth's 24-hour day, Sol. A sol is the time it takes for the sun to return to the same spot in the Martian sky. Basically, the planet's own day, and the term goes all the way back to the 1976 Viking missions. Here's the most important rule. Never ever step outside that dome without your helmet. Because Mars's atmosphere is 95% carbon dioxide, and it's so thin. Less than 1% of the air pressure back on Earth. Without your suit, you couldn't take a single breath. The pressure is so low that the fluids in your exposed body would start to boil. It's called the Armstrong limit. The air here is invisible, but it's your deadliest enemy. Before we even open the door, let's check a thermometer. Mars's average temperature is 63 degrees Celsius. At the poles, it can drop to 140 degrees at night. At the equator, a sunny midday can climb just above zero. Out here, staying warm is a matter of survival. At last, you're outside. On your first step, you notice something strange. You feel really light. Mars's gravity is only 38% of Earth's. Someone who weighs 100 kilos on Earth would feel like 38 kilos here. When you jump, you go about 2.5 times higher and everything you carry feels like a feather. Sounds like fun, but if you stay in this low gravity for months, your muscles start wasting away and your bones start getting thinner. But there's another danger waiting for you out here. One you'll never see, radiation. Earth is protected by a massive magnetic shield and a thick atmosphere. Mars has neither. That's why the radiation on the surface is dozens of times higher than on Earth, and that's exactly why homes on Mars are buried under thick layers of soil or dug underground. You look around, everything's red. So why is that? Mars's soil is rich in iron, and that iron has been rusting for billions of years, so the entire planet is coated in a giant layer of rust. That's why they call it the red planet. But this dust has a dark side too. The soil contains chemicals called perchlorates that are toxic to humans. So you can't just toss a seed in the ground and grow a tomato. You even have to carefully clean the dust off your suit before you bring it back inside the base. Then, on the horizon, the sky goes dark. A dust storm is rolling in. Mars's storms don't blow over in a few hours. Some grow big enough to wrap the whole planet and can last for months. They blanket the solar panels and cut off your power. Your only option, get inside and wait. Inside, you're thirsty. So where do you get water? There are no flowing rivers on Mars, but the planet isn't actually dry. Huge masses of ice are hidden at the poles and just below the soil. Heat up a handful of Martian dirt and water vapor can come rising out of it. You melt that ice and filter it. This is both the water you drink and the source you split to get the oxygen you breathe. On Mars, water is worth more than gold. So what do you eat? Not from the toxic soil, from the greenhouse inside the dome. In here, you grow potatoes, lettuce, and wheat in carefully prepared beds. Lamps provide the light and you control the heat. Every leaf you eat is the payoff for months of work. On Mars, nothing comes off a store shelf. You grow every single bite yourself, literally. Evening comes and Mars has been saving its most beautiful surprise for you. All day long, the sky was a pale honey color from the dust. But as the sun sets, a miracle happens. The exact opposite of Earth, sunsets on Mars are blue. The fine dust scatters the red light across the sky while the blue light gathers around the sun. Millions of kilometers away, completely alone, you're watching the strangest and most beautiful sunset of your life. When darkness falls, you look up. There's no moon, there are two moons, the little potato-shaped Phobos and the even smaller Deimos. Phobos orbits so fast that it rises in the sky twice a day, and unlike what you're used to, it rises in the west and sets in the east. The stars are familiar, but the rhythm of the sky is completely alien. Loneliness sets in and you call the people you love, but a live conversation is impossible here. Even at the speed of light, a message takes anywhere from 3 to 22 minutes to reach Earth, depending on where the planets are. You say, "How are you?" and the reply can take half an hour to come back. Conversations here aren't chats, they're letters. You lie down on your bed. Today you melted ice, fought toxic soil, hid from invisible radiation, watched a blue sunset, and sent your loved ones a good night with a half-hour delay. Mars is brutal, cold, toxic, thin-aired, and very, very far away. But it's also the place humanity might one day actually walk. And now, you know what a day there would actually feel like. So the real question is, could you really go?